Welcome to Two Tall Guys Talking Sales. I'm your host for this session. I'm Sean.
And I'm Kevin.
And together we're going to talk about a unique problem that you might be having in your sales process and your sales world. This 15 minutes is designed for salespeople, sales managers, and CEOs of the company that are trying to increase their revenue and trying to be more productive in your sales processes. So let's get started.
I was thinking about our session we're doing for this afternoon, and I would really like to talk about a situation that was similar to my life when I first started in sales. So my first job out of school, I was selling industrial automation tools, and we were primarily selling those products through distribution. So now I'm a fractional VP of sales, and it's not unusual for one of my clients to have salespeople come in and talk to my salespeople. So I want to talk about the problems, mistakes that I made when I was a young salesperson. So we would come out with a new product. I would go to my channel partner, my distributor, my reseller, and I'd talk about all the features and benefits and how great it was for the customer and all that. And revenue didn't go up. And it wasn't until I learned that I was actually selling the drill, in the old adage of don't sell the drill, sell the hole. In fact, don't even sell the hole, sell the thing that's going into the hole. I was selling the drill. I was barely mentioning the hole to my salespeople that were working for another company, a distributor, and they weren't getting it. They didn't care because they weren't the person that we were selling the product to. I was selling through them. So I didn't know my audience. I didn't understand what their problems were. Their problems were, how do we sell this product as opposed to what does this product do? And that's a distinction. It's an important distinction, but how do we sell this product? And it wasn't until I changed my whole methodology of how I presented a brand new product to them, and we talked about how do we sell it. So I do a little bit of this is what it does, but then I evolved my conversations into how do we sell it? How do we find the right customer for it? How do we move that forward? And my sales went up after I started to do that. And I think there's a lot of salespeople out there that don't understand what their customer, the person that they're actually making the presentation to, they don't understand what they really need out of that conversation. In this case, my salespeople didn't need to have information about every detail of the product. The customer might need that, but the salesperson did not need it. My customer in that meeting was my salespeople. And so this could be a sales management problem. This could be a selling through distribution problem. We can go a lot of different ways. So I'm just going to shut up for a second, and I'm going to let you riff on this and have fun.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we have that shared background in distribution and in products and in manufacturing. That resonates with me. And I think about your analogy of the drill versus the hole versus what goes through the hole. And because I came from construction wholesale, and this is really important. And we have a full market basket of tools and things that attach to the tool, and then products that are installed once the tool is done being used, like the hole is cut kind of thinking. Whether or not you're looking at this as a manufactured product that I or you are selling, or as a distributor who has a lot of products that they have to be educated on, or you're managing a channel sales ecosystem where you have providers and builders and all the different components of a sales ecosystem. But I think what's really important here, and for everybody listening, let's make this simple. Complex is the enemy of progress. Simple is really important here. For you in your sales life, I only want you to think about how somebody else will use and gain benefit from the thing that you're selling. In your example, Sean, the drill, the bit, and the hole, nobody cares about the drill unless they're, brand specific and they're allegiant to, DeWalt and a yellow and black NASCAR, right? But everybody's really, really keen on how well and how long is the life of the tool? How does it keep them on task? How long do batteries last? How long do cords last? How well and long do bits stay sharp? Right? That's an efficiency metric, because what goes through there, they can get more productivity, lines pulled, cables pulled, whatever the thing is. If you're selling, even insurance, right? You've got somebody as a publisher of a policy or an underwriter of a policy, and then you've got all these independent agents selling the policies. They need to know the features, how they work, but why should a customer, a business, a homeowner, a a driver, why should they buy that? What creates that differentiation point between you and the others on the feature level, but also what creates the difference in value that they receive? Is it just price? Is your go-to-market strategy to be a price fighter? Is your go-to-market strategy to be a high-value, high-touch provider of services to your customer? Or are you the frictionless buying process? Everybody gets the same quote because of an algorithm and you buy online. These are different models that you need to know where you play. I was talking with another sales professional who's leading a pretty big sales organization. And we were talking about sales growth. And the context was, well, are we selling a commodity? Are we selling an exclusive product? Or are we selling a product that everybody else has and we're just trying to sell either on relationship or on the value adds to that common product? And we kind of boiled it down to, well, you're playing one of those three games: commodity, core product everybody has, or an exclusive product. You have to know which game you're playing, though, to be successful. So the idea, again, is know what game you're playing, and because the tactics and strategies are different. If you're an exclusive, you don't have to price cut. If there's not a Me Too kind of product that is in direct competition, you have to be good and sell a quality product, but you, in large part, don't have to be the low-cost provider. If you're selling a commodity item that is priced based on a spot price, think, copper, wire, licensed gasoline, you have to find a way to sell in bulk or sell a value or sell some sort of nuanced business value that allows a customer to select you as a commodity provider. But on that, hey, everybody on the block has got the same product, what makes you different from them? Think grocery stores. They all carry similar lines, but they also carry that exclusive line, the house brand, right? And you're saying, well, Kevin, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. If they've got a house brand, they're exclusive, right? Think Kirkland's versus, a large retail chain. Kirkland's, their policy and process is to find the best product that they can private label. They want to create a value in the product, premium product, but price it in a way that makes it a value to their consumer, versus a house brand that is fighting for the position on the shelf at a very low price. So know the product, know the features, but know the game you're playing.
Totally agree with that. And this can even go to some of our listeners out there. I know are small companies, solopreneur type of companies, maybe companies that have just a couple salespeople. They're not getting a lot of leads. And so they need referral partners to actually get leads. They need to be introduced to other people. That person that you are selling through, that referral partner, has to know how to sell your product as well. They have to understand the process that it takes to sell you, to refer you correctly. So they don't really need to know everything that you as a company do or that your company does. They need to know the value that it's going to bring to their customer that they're going to introduce you to. When you are talking to your referral partners, when you're talking to your network of companies that are going to help you find information and find value, you need to put it into their context. How do you make it easy for them to sell for you? How do you make it easy for them to introduce you, to find opportunities for you? This is the core of selling value rather than selling just a thing. Because I can say in my life, I can say I'm a fractional VP of sales. Gee, introduce me to everybody that has a sales organization. Well, that doesn't help my referral partner at all. My referral partner wants to know, well, what value are you bringing, Sean? What value are you bringing, Kevin, to my client that I'm going to use my good name and introduce you to? So it's the same exact thing. If you have a sales team and you're a sales manager, it's the same kind of concept. Your customer is your salesperson. Their customer is the people that are going to buy your product. So you need to figure out how to sell through your salespeople to the customer. And that means you have to do more than just say, our widget does this, our thing does that. It comes in 6 different colors and this kind of fabric and blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Somebody does, but probably not the person that's selling. And we have to think about the who cares and why should I care conversation. Because if I don't care about the different colors it comes in, I only care about that my customer cares. We always need to put it in their terms and in their way of working. And good sales management is about empowering others to sell for you. So it comes from owners. They have their salespeople. It comes from sales managers, especially young sales managers that are inexperienced sales managers. They got to put that in front of them. And also, finally, if we're selling it through others, kind of resellers or whatever, we have to put it in the context of what they need as well.
It's interesting, Sean. I was trying to put my mind in where a sales leader might be experiencing this, and I had the thought that they may be thinking at this point, God, this is a new concept. How am I going to learn how to do this? And I want to give everybody listening an easy pass. You've probably done this already, whether or not, regardless of the product you've sold, whether or not you've thought about it in this framework. Sean and I are using kind of our terminology here, but you have probably been to a manufacturing plant or a corporate site of somebody where you're buying products or selling their products, and they do these things at the end where they give you a certificate of, you're now authorized to sell this product. You're now certified as a person who can sell or install or sell through. It's knowledge transfer. So when we're talking about knowledge transfer in this framework, Sean and I are talking about, hey, when we're working with a referral partner or a channel sales group, test the transfer of knowledge. I think Sean and I, we've spent enough time talking on this podcast to kind of know how we approach this, but my workshopping way of approaching this problem is to say at the end of a referral partner meeting, hey, real quick, we've covered a lot of ground here. How would you talk to somebody else about what I've shared with you today? Sean and I have these individual products, like the workshop type products. And when we release a new one, we share that new product with our referral partners. We say, hey, this is how I'm going to market with this new product. It's new for me. Does this make sense? What have you taken away as the three values that might be of interest to your customers? Making sure we're testing that knowledge transfer to our referral partners, which are, as Sean and I described, there are keys to growing our business and sustaining our business, because our business comes through referrals. If your business comes through referrals, you should be thinking about that as well. If your business comes not through referrals, maybe it comes through a different way. Think about how your dealer network, if you're selling products to a group of dealers across a large geography, think about how they're selling to their customers. So if you're selling, let's go deck lights, decorative lights for someone's backyard, and you're selling them to a contractor, they're your customer, but they're not the endpoint for that product. That product gets sold and installed down the line. So how are you helping that downstream customer sell that again? Because you've got to buy it from your manufacturer. You've got to know, or if you're the manufacturer, know your features and benefits and attributes, but you've also got to know how that product is going to get sold in the market. So being aware of that is hugely important.
The big thing to understand here, and I'm going to kind of wrap things up and give you an actionable item. The actionable item is to understand who your true customer is, which is the final customer that actually is going to begin the transaction stream. They're going to pay for it. They're going to use your product. They're paying somebody else, and that person is paying you. Even if it's your own salespeople, think of it as those salespeople are your channel to the market. They are buying and reselling your product. And that's not 100% true if they're your salespeople, because the transaction is probably going to go through you. But the person that you are actually working with is your salesperson, that they are working with the end customer. So by thinking of it in that way, you can then build reasons why they should listen to you and they should pay attention to you in every step of the way. You want to empower your salespeople to be better. You want to empower your channel to the market to be better at working on their problem. And if you think of it in that way, you're going to be successful. Now, this is not easy stuff. And I'll admit this. We're kind of digging into some things that, if we did this as a university course, this would be the 405 class, not the 105 class. And I totally get that. And so if you're struggling with this concept, if you're struggling about how do I do this? Well, the good news is Sean and Kevin do this for a living, and that's where we actually shine. Feel free to reach out to us, ask us more questions on this subject, and ask us specific questions like, how do I sell this through my channel or through my salespeople who are selling to a channel who have salespeople themselves who are then talking to the end customer. How do I pull that off, and how do I make that messaging unique and powerful for each step along the way so that all of my people are selling the whole and not the drill?
And that's a wrap. Thanks again for joining Kevin and Sean on Two Tall Guys Talking Sales. Tune in every Tuesday, or when our podcast drops every Tuesday at 4:30, wherever you consume your podcast. And don't miss our monthly CEO workshop, where we unpack some of the big CEO questions facing your business. Until next time, we're looking forward to seeing you. Happy selling.